So we're going to show the equation represents a circle and find the center and the radius. So this is the equation that's given, and we need to show that it's a circle. But I know that this is the general form of a circle up here. But this one doesn't quite look like that. So I have to do some algebra to this to try to make it look like this. If I can make it look like this, then I know this is a circle. And then I'll have HK for my center and r squared, so whatever this number is, we would take the square root and we would have our radius. So let's go ahead and figure this one out. So first thing I would like to do is I can tell I'm going to need to complete the square here. So let me put my draw tool back on, and I'll put my x terms together. So I'd have x squared plus 4x plus something to complete the square. And then I would have, let's see, some y terms. Y squared minus 6y plus some other term that completes the square. And I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and move this 12 and make it a negative 12 on the right-hand side. So far, so good? All right, so to complete the square, we look at this term here now. I have to take half of this term and square it to put it here. So half of 4 is 2, and 2 squared is going to be 4. So I'll do that in a different color. And then the same thing over here. Half of negative 6 is negative 3, and negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. So that's what I would put in this space. But notice, I cannot just add terms. I can't just add a 4 here and a 9 here without also balancing it by adding stuff on the other side of the equation. So let's make sure we do that. So we first added a 4 on the left-hand side, and then a 9 to the left-hand side. So now I can go ahead and start to rewrite this like this. All right, a perfect square plus the perfect square equals r squared. So let's go ahead, we'll do that. So this piece right here, let me switch back to my white. This piece, that becomes x plus, the number that goes here is the number that was half of 4. So half of 4, that was 2, so that goes here. So now I have x plus 2 squared, and this 4 completed this square. Now let's go over to the other part. So I have y minus, this is going to be minus 3 because negative 3 was half of negative 6. And then we're going to square that, and that is going to be equal to all this business over here. Looks like that adds up to 1. Negative 12 plus 13 is 1. So I could make that a 1 squared because I know that my radius is going to be the square root of 1. First things first, though, what I like to do is I'll rewrite this in the strictest sense of this form here. So this is x minus h, but this says x plus 2. So I want to make that be a negative. So what I do is I would say go ahead and write x minus a negative 2, that quantity squared. This one is already a minus. This minus here is going to match up with this minus here, so we're good to go on this one. So minus 3 quantity squared equals 1. So now I know what the center is. I know my center, I'll use a capital C, is going to be h, and my h in this case, x minus h, is a negative 2. So negative 2. And my y minus 3, this is my k, so y minus k, y minus k, so that means that the y coordinate of my center is 3. So I now have my center, negative 2, comma 3, and my radius is just going to be the square root of 1, or 1. So now I have, I've shown that this is a circle by being able to write it in this form, right? This form to match this form of a circle that we know, so that we could find the center and the radius. So hopefully you got some value out of that. Go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and share it with some classmates.